Hi, Catherine Coe.
Hello.
Oh, excuse me. Hi, Catherine Forbes. How are you?
Oh, good. Good to talk to you again, Dave.
Well, it's great to see you again.
So I think we're about to do the first virtual speaker event for the Alumni Association, and we're so glad that you agreed to do this.
Well, that's a little scary to be the first, and it's really scary to know that this could stick around for many years. And so I hope we wipe every hard drive that's got this eventually and make it go away.
Well, would you mind starting off giving us a little background of how you got to be the band director at Virginia Tech?
Sure. Sheer dumb luck. I'm absolutely the perfect person I was at the right place at the right time. I walked in here, let's go back. I taught high school for 8 years. My wife was teaching elementary music. And Virginia Tech had expressed an interest in us coming down and doing our master's degrees a couple times. We waited, and every time we looked at this, we said, our kids are little, we can't possibly do this. So we waited till we didn't have one kid. We had 2 kids, and we had taught, and I had actually spent a few months doing something besides band. I went into business for a few weeks and said, this is great, I'm going to make all this money. And then my dad said, good luck with that. And I called him one day and I said, where's the fun? And he said, well, the fun is all that money you're going to make. And I said, gee, I don't think that's right. And he said, well, think about your options. So we came down here in '84. We started our master's degrees, both of us at the same time, 2 little kids in Fox Ridge. We were finishing our degrees in the spring of '86, and the guy who was the director of Marching Virginians took another position somewhere else. And they came to me and said, would you take the band for a year? Well, 29 years later, I'm still doing it. And it's still fun, and I work with the greatest students on the planet, as you well know. I'll tell anybody, I'll tell you guys, video-wise, I live a charmed life. I work with the best and brightest on this campus. They're Hokies through and through. They love everything Hokie, and the MVs are a part of that.
That's awesome. So you're actually the main reason why I pursued the piano performance degree at Virginia Tech. I was signed up just to do technology. So I can thank you for letting me pursue my passion and continue piano. So what passion is it that keeps you coming back 30 years later to do this?
I think part of it's insanity. But I think the biggest part truly is the people. I mean, my dad and mom were both educators in many, many senses. My dad taught inner city elementary school. My mom was a church choir director, and they enjoyed watching people grow and be part of something. For me, it's the same thing. I live a charmed life working. I just work with great people. The students here, my colleagues, many of them who I've been blessed to work with my entire career. Some of them went from being my mentors to my colleagues. Some of them are still mentors in many, many ways. But the students at Virginia Tech are still something special. The kids who I work with in the marching band are from every major on campus. They are from every walk of life on campus. Some of them come from great big high school bands. Some of them from little bitty high school bands, big city, little city. And they're here to pursue an academic area, but they're also here to have fun. And the MVs is just the perfect mix of that. I think it's a very, very bright group of kids who are really, really motivated to succeed academically, but also to represent the Hokies.
For sure. So you mentioned growth, and you like watching the students grow. How has the band program, grown over the years?
Well, I think it's number-wise, it's kind of stayed the same, and we're happy with that. I walked in here, and they had just the band was 10 years old when we came here, which is still quite young for university bands across the country. They had just stabilized a number of 330 as their goal, and we've been able to keep that. Over the years, we have more and more kids who apply every year and audition. Average now, we have about 400 to 425 come to band camp, and we can select them down to about 350. We keep extra bodies, as you may remember, so that if somebody goes out and plays soccer and breaks their leg or something like that, we've got a sub. We don't call them alternates, but everybody's there. So the numbers haven't changed. But the thing that's changed has been the quality. I think the quality has dramatically changed over the years. a lot of it because we're getting better players, and the campus has become much more selective. But also, more kids want to be part of it. They know about it. This thing is kind of self-publicizing. A kid who comes in from Joe Blow High School knows student X, Y, and Z who went to Joe Blow High School, and they've already heard about it. The best thing we ever do is when we have a bowl game. At the end of the bowl game, everybody walks out of here wearing new Hokie regalia, right? And they go back over Christmas break, and they go to their high school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they walk into high school, and the high school kids say, "Hey, that looks kind of cool," and it kind of works that way.
Oh yeah. So speaking of bowl games, how many have you been to with the band?
A bunch.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite memory?
Favorite memory? Yeah, absolutely. Always sitting on the drum major podium in 1999 at the national championship. End of the third quarter. Mm-hmm. We're in the Superdome in New Orleans. We are ahead of Florida State. There's 15 minutes of football left. I'll never forget it. There's something happening on the field during halftime. Something super important, I'm sure. So the bands are sitting there. We're doing nothing, and I'm sitting on the drum major stand with the two drum majors, and we're thinking, my gosh, we're going to win the national championship. Little old Virginia Tech, we're going to take Florida State down. Well, as you know, it didn't happen. But I will always remember that. Anytime, did you go to New Orleans when you were in the band?
No, just the Sugar Bowls.
Okay.
The Orange Bowl.
Orange Bowl. So you got to see Miami. Yeah, that's okay. But the trip to New Orleans knocks everyone else off their feet. There's no comparison. Every other bowl game is just a bowl game. You go to New Orleans, you fly in, they put you in a hotel right at the end of the French Quarter, and you people know what to do in the French Quarter. And it was great. We did it 4 times. The first time we went, I called a friend and another band director, and I said, "How do you do this? What guarantees you that everybody they're gonna live through this?" And he said, "All you can do is hope that the number of kids who went down with you, that's the same number of kids that comes home." And we've been lucky. We've done it 4 times. We've had a great time. It is the best bowl game. Of course, you're in one of the great cities to eat in the world. And it's just, New Orleans is just New Orleans. So everything else kind of pales. We've been to the Music City Bowl. We were actually in the first Music City Bowl. It was us and Alabama. That was the first time I think we'd beaten Alabama. It was a cold, gnarly. We saw everything come out of the sky that possibly could in Nashville. Yeah, rain, sleet, snow. It was at the old Vanderbilt Stadium because the Titans Stadium wasn't up and running yet.
That's awesome. So I wore my NV Orange Bowl shirt to the gym this morning, and I was thinking about how much stuff I have that I collected in 2 years. I have hats, I have shirts, I have pants, I have shorts, I have jackets. Do you have a collection of your own? How big is your collection of NV gear?
Number one, you probably you fit in that stuff now. I don't quite fit in some of that stuff anymore, but I do. I have a lot of T-shirts. The shirt I'm wearing today has an abundance of maroon in it. My wife, every time I buy shirts or something, she'll go, "Would you buy something besides orange and maroon, please? You have plenty of that. Don't do that anymore." But that's kind of the world in which we live. And I'm, I've got my favorite shirt of all time was from my second year, I guess. We did a tour that included Philadelphia and D.C. And at one point we had 8 busloads of people on 5 buses. Buses broke down. It was a trip that if anything could happen, it happened. And there's a T-shirt that they made to proclaim it was the Hell Tour, the 1987 Hell Tour. I have 1 copy of that T-shirt left. To my knowledge, there's like 4 or 5 left in existence. They're pretty awful, but it's all true. It lists all the casualties on the back and the front, all the casualties of the trip, and it was pretty amazing how we survived. How I survived. That was my second year. Somebody could have said, "McKee, you're an idiot. This was a bad idea. Get rid of this guy."
I only signed up for 1 year.
That's right. You gave me my second year. I'm going to go teach somewhere else. But it was, that one. But the thing that I remember the most isn't the bowl games or the football. It's the student leadership. It's the kids who are involved every day in making this thing go.
That's awesome. So do you have any advice to wrap it up for new or aspiring band directors?
I did a presentation this summer. We had the College Band Directors National Association is our professional organization across the country. In fact, they're all meeting right now in New Orleans except me, and I'm staying here to be my wife's handbell flunky at her concert this weekend. But I did a presentation at our summer symposium. Being one of the, I've found myself in the position now, being one of the older guys in the organization. So my presentation this summer was everything I really need to know I learned in kindergarten, and the subtitle was topics stolen, borrowed, and used over the past 30 years as a band director. And it was kind of fun to put together because it was a lot of advice. It was a lot of, again, things that I have stolen from other people. Take care of yourself, take care of the people around you. Enjoy the moment because nobody's guaranteed the next moment. But mainly, look at the people you're working with and really enjoy that. And whatever you do, whether it's no matter what professionally you're doing, do the best you can and enjoy doing it with the people around you. For me, it all goes back to the people. It's just my thrill in this job has been working with people who are enormously talented, like you, willing to take risks. Not saying, well, I'm just going to do this for the rest of my life. I mean, when we came down to Virginia Tech in 1984 with two little kids and lived in Foxridge, it could have, that could have been bad, and it turned out great. And the community, we've been part of the community now for over 30 years, so kind of fun.
Well, that's awesome, and I'm sure on behalf of a lot of people, I say thank you for all that you've done, and thank you for joining this virtual speaker event for our chapter. And it's great to talk to you, Dave.
Well, thanks. I'm sorry I couldn't be down there with you. I really enjoy talking to alumni groups all the time. And, as you know, Kevin, the great thing about being a Hokie is it doesn't go away after 4 years. Mm-hmm. And the networking is amazing and immense. We talked about somebody I have a great friendship with who's a percussionist in Nashville. It just doesn't go away, and it's kind of cool. So thank you.
That's awesome. Thanks, Dave.
You're very welcome.